Welcome back, my dear students. In last class we discussed about Rayleigh's method. There are some demerits in Rayleigh's method that we will see today, and after that we will introduce one more new method which will overcome the demerits of Rayleigh's method. In Rayleigh's method, usually what was the problem here is, the problems will be like, we will be having one dependent variable we will have. Let us consider P, and this dependent variable is depending on so many other variables, right? And in Rayleigh's method he says that this dependent variable may be depending on so many other variables, x1, x2, x3, like that, and we'll be having some powers a, b, c, like that, xn to the power m, like that it will be there. Then after we will write the dimensions of each and every term, and we will equate just powers. We will equate powers of m, l, t. Then we will get the answers for a, b, c, d, like that. Then we will substitute back these answers into the equation. We will get one beautiful relation. Okay, this is your Rayleigh's method. But in this Rayleigh's method we have some demerits. The first demerit is, if the powers are these power unknowns, they are 3, then only we can do it. Means if we have independent variables, if independent variables greater than 3, then this method is difficult. Okay, na? Therefore the difficult means, but it becomes very tedious, and we will not end with good results. That's why Rayleigh's method will not be used when you have independent variables more than 3. Then what we need to do? Then we have another method. That method is called as Buckingham's method. Okay, Buckingham's method. Okay, this method is called as pi method, pi theorem, Buckingham's pi theorem we will call. Why? Because we are using this pi word in the solutions. Okay, now as I told that this method is invented by seeing the demerits of Rayleigh's method. Means this method can be used if independent variables are greater than 3. This is the advantage of Buckingham's method, right? Now let us consider x is a dependent variable. And we have x1, x2, x3, like that, many independent variables. Of course that will be more than 3, and we need to establish a relation between this dependent variable and independent variable. That is our task, right? Now here Buckingham, what he tell us is, this we will write it as usual, that is x is a function of x1, x2, x3, like that. It will be a function of xn. Okay, if I include this dependent variable into the given variable, then the total number of variables will be capital X, x1, x2, x3, like that, xn, right? That equal to 0. This is what you are going to get it. Means what? From these two equations we can understand that Buckingham's method is also when the equation is dimensionally homogeneous. Means the left hand side dimension and the right hand side dimension must be same. Then only we can use Buckingham's method, right? Many things are there in this Buckingham's method. Many new things will come, but each and everything I will explain by considering one problem. Okay, and after solving the problem we will make one procedure, that one step-by-step procedure note on this Buckingham method. Therefore, first we will go through we will take one problem and we will go through the problem. Okay. This is what the problem. Actually, this problem we solved even by Rayleigh's method also. The same problem I am considering for Buckingham's method. Right? Now look at here. The resisting force, will change the color. The resisting force R of a supersonic plane during the flight can be considered as dependent upon the length of the aircraft and velocity and air viscosity, air density and bulk modulus and pressure, bulk modulus K. Express the functional relation between these variables and the resisting force. Okay, here for a practical purpose to understand this problem, look at here, we have one aircraft. See, this is one aircraft and this aircraft has a let us draw a rough diagram. This is an aircraft and this aircraft obviously it will move with some velocity v. It will move with velocity v, that is given here, moves with velocity v, and when it is moving in the air, then it will offer some resistance. It will get some resistance, right? Then some resistance will be acting on the surface. That resistance I will call it as a R. Okay, that is given here, the resisting force R. This resisting force is depending on velocity and the length of the aircraft, how much lengthy this aircraft is, the length of the aircraft, and viscosity of the air. Here the surrounding air will be there here, and the air's viscosity is also a parameter, and air density, the density of the air. Sometimes this aircraft may move into the clouds or it may move without clouds, just hot sun. Like that, the viscosity and density will be varying. Therefore, these two properties are there. And bulk modulus of the air. When it moving, then the air will be that shifting away. When it shifts away, because the air is compressible, then this aeroplane can move easily. Then that compressible parameter, that is a K also, it is there. Like that, your total that resisting force is depending on length of the aircraft, velocity of the aircraft, and air viscosity, air density, and the bulk modulus of the air. Like that. Right? These many parameters. Now my task is I need to establish the relation between these. Understood? This is the problem. Now to establish the relation between these, I need to use Buckingham's method. Buckingham's method. This is a restriction in this problem. Means we need to understand Buckingham's method by establishing the relation between R to these all parameters. Right? Okay. First, procedure by procedure if we go, the first step is, the step 1 will be, what will be the step 1? That you need to understand which is dependent variable and which is independent variable. In this case, my dependent variable is in this case my dependent variable is resisting force R, and my independent variables are length and velocity and viscosity, density and bulk modulus. See here, viscosity, I am considering dynamic viscosity. In this problem only viscosity is written. By seeing the by seeing this symbol, I am considering it as a dynamic viscosity. I think in the last time in the live class I considered this as a new and solved the problem. Purposely I made it. Okay. Now I am considering mu, this dynamic viscosity I am considering and going ahead, so that you can have different problems. Right? Now this is what the step 1 we did it. We understood which is a dependent variable and which is independent variable. That one mathematically I will write here, that is R is a function of L, V, mu, rho and K. Okay, or otherwise I can include this R inside, then r, f of r comma l comma v comma mu comma rho comma k is equal to 0. You should always concentrate this r is something different. This is independent, this is a dependent variable and these are all independent variables. This you should keep in mind. Right? Now this was the step 1 and now we are going to step 2. Okay, now in this step 2 we need to count. First in this step 2 we will write dimensions of all parameters. Okay, as usual we used to do we used to follow this step even in release method also. The same thing I am doing here. I will take a different slide here. Then the dimensions of all of them. Then R is a force dimension is ml t raised to minus 2, mass into acceleration. Then after that we had a length dimension is L. Then we had a velocity dimension is L t raised to minus 1. Then we have a viscosity, dynamic viscosity formula is Newton per meter square into second. Okay, Pascal second. Therefore this dynamic viscosity formula will be ml t raised to minus 2 divided by L square into T. Therefore the final answer works to be L minus 1 T minus 2, minus 1, because here also there. Therefore L minus 1 T minus 1. This was a viscosity. And after that we have a density. This is a mass by volume. Therefore m by L minus 3. Then we have a we have a K, bulk modulus. K unit is Newton per meter square. Therefore this is a Newton means ml t raised to minus 2 and per meter square is L square. Therefore it is ml minus 1 t minus 2. These are all dimensions of the parameters given. Okay. Now the very important step of this Buckingham method is this one, counting. Okay, we need to start counting. What we need to count? First we need to count how many number of variables are there, including both dependent and independent. How many number of variables are there? We have, you can count here, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6. We have 6 number of variables are there, that we will call them as n. N is a number of variables, that is a 6. Now the second task is we need to count how many of dimensions we used. Total fundamental dimensions we have m, l, t. We have a 3 dimensions. Out of these 3, how many dimensions are used? We used m, we used l, we used t. Therefore everywhere we have used all these 3. Therefore the second count is m is equal to, how many variables are there? 3 variables are there. 3 dimensions are we used. Now the third one is the calculation that how many pi terms we should have. How many pi terms we shall have. Okay, then sir, what is the meaning of pi terms? That you will understand as we go. Now just think that in Buckingham's method we have a pi number of terms. Pi terms will be there. How many of pi terms we should have? That the answer is m minus n. That is your 6 minus 3. That is your 3. Then this says that we shall have 3 number of pi terms. Means we should have pi 1, pi 2 and pi 3 groups. Okay, now this is the third count. And the fourth count is how many repeating variables we should have. How many repeated variables we shall have. Then we shall have repeated variables. How many? That how many pi terms are there? That many. Therefore the answer is simply 3. Means this number only I repeatedly write it here. Understood? This is what you are counting. Number of variables, number of dimensions used, pi terms and number of repeated variables. After writing these, we need to go for the problem statement. Right now, we will go to by considering those count. Now see, this your basic equation was f of L V mu rho k, and we made it as a f of R L V mu rho k. Right? Means these are all 6 numbers were there. This is equal to 0. We got it like this. And after that, from the counting method, from this counting, we got that 3 terms should be there. Means our new set of variables, I can write it as f of pi 1 comma pi 2 comma pi 3 equal to 0. This is a ultimate statement by Buckingham method. Okay, means we reduced 6 number of variables into 3 number of variables by considering pi 1, pi 2, pi 3. Now our task is, what is pi 1, what is pi 2, what is pi 3. Understood? Now we need to understand what is pi 1, what is pi 2, and what is pi 3. That's it. If we understand them, then the problem, 50% of the problem is solved. Now look at here. In general, pi 1 means that is a set of repeating variables and one non-repeating variables. Just you remember, what is the pi means what, pi 1 means what, or pi 2 means what, pi 3 means what. This is nothing but, this is one repeating variables and one non-repeating variables. From the count we understood that repeating variables we shall take 3 numbers, and one non-repeating variable means we should have one non-repeating variables. Total we will have 4 variables in each pi. Okay, means in pi 1 we will be having 4 variables, in pi 2 we will be having 4 variables, in pi 3 4 variables. Understood? Now we need to select repeating variables. Now the task is what? Repeating variables. What are those repeating variables? That we need to select. Okay. From where we need to select? From the given list only. The given list only. Here the list is there. R, L, V, mu, rho and k. This is the given list. From these given list we need to select 3 variables. We need to call 3 variables and put them here. That is 1, 2, 3. 3 variables I need to call out of these 6 and we need to put here. But there are rules to call those 3. We cannot call R, you come here, K, you come here, mu, you come here. Any 3 is not the choice. Here there are some rules. Those rules are, the first rule is here, that is, as far as possible the dependent variable should not be selected as repeating variable. Very important. That says that here this R you need to avoid. Okay, you need to avoid this R. As far as possible R is a dependent variable, you should not take. Means now what? How many remain? 5 variables are remained. Out of these 5 we need to select 3 variables here. Okay, then we will see the second rules. What is the second rule? The second rule, it says that repeating variable should be chosen in such a way that one variable contains a geometric property. The one variable must be containing a geometric property and the other variable must contain a flow property, and the third variable must contain a fluid property. Like that we need to select. We cannot select that randomly 3 variables. We have to select one geometric property. What is a geometric property? Length is a geometric property, diameter is a geometric property, height is a geometric property, or area is a geometric property, volume is a geometric property. These are all geometric properties. Out of these you can take one. Understood? Means I will come to my variables. I have L, V, mu, rho and k. Now I can select this L as a geometric property. Therefore one variable I got it. One variable as a repeating variables I got it. Now understand what is the flow property. Flow property means it might be a velocity or acceleration. Out of these two, any one you can select. Come to my problem. In my problem, I have velocity. Therefore, I can put velocity as my second repeating variable. Now coming to the third property, what it says, the variables with fluid property I need to concentrate. Fluid property means I have mu, that is a viscosity, density and angular velocity. Okay, these are all are fluid properties. Out of these I have here, you can see I have both viscosity is also there and density is also there. Okay, now what happens, which one I have to take, whether I have to take density or whether I have to take viscosity, that we need to think. Okay, now okay, whichever you want you can take, but in this problem I will take rho as a repeating variable. Sir, why not mu? Mu you could have taken, no? Then you just see here in my problem, mu is ml t raised to minus 1 and here nu is, sorry, this rho is ml raised to minus 3. Somewhat very simple it is, that I will take it. Okay, na? Now one more thing, here there is again the third rule you need to concentrate. The repeating variable selected should not form dimensionless group. Means here whatever you selected here, this length is L and this velocity is what, L t raised to minus 1 and this m L raised to minus 3. This one, these dimensions we got. Here it should not so happen that they should get cancel each other. L raised to minus 1 and this L square and L will be remained, will not get cancelled. T will remain, M will remain. Therefore, this combination is good combination. Okay, na? And the fourth parameter, it says that the repeating variable together must have the same number of fundamental dimensions. Then see here, how many fundamental dimensions we have? 3 fundamental dimensions we have. How many fundamental dimensions we used? We used 3 fundamental dimensions. Now in this repeating variables, are those fundamental variable dimensions are there here? Check it. L is there? Yes sir. T is there? Yes. M is there? Yes. All 3 fundamental variables are present here. Okay, na? In such a way we need to select these 3 variables. Now shall we conclude that what is our selected repeated variables? Yes, our selected repeated variables are L, V and rho. Congratulations, you got very good. Out of these 6, these 3 are got selected as repeating variables. Tell congratulations to these 3 candidates, L, V, rho. Understood? Now what I said here, in general, pi set means it should contain repeating variables, that is your L, V, rho and 1 non-repeating variables. Now we'll make a list of them. The pi 1 is a set of L, V, rho and pi 2 is a set of L, V, rho and pi 3 is a set of L, V, rho. These 3 will be there. Along with that we should have 1 non-repeating variable, that here we will take R, here we will take, which is left, mu is left, here we will take mu, here we will take K. Okay, now means now we got the meaning of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3. Now we got a meaning of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3. And one more thing, still we did not get the meaning of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3. Still we need to assign power to them, that is A1, this is B1, this is C1. Okay, this non-repeating variable will not have any power. Okay, now this is A1, B1, C1. Then coming to pi 2, the pi 2 is A2 and B2 and C2. Mu will not have a power. Then pi 3 will be having A3, then B3 and C3. Okay, these are all the repeating variables. Okay, now I got a set of pi variables. This is very important step of this Buckingham method. Understood? Now the task is the task is now the task is find the powers. Find the powers. How many powers are there? See, a1 a2 a1 b1 c1 a2 b2 c2 a3 b3 c3. 9 powers are there. We need to find the values of those 9 powers. We'll start one by one. Okay. Now the first one is we'll find for the first power. Okay. That is the okay, first pi term will take first pi term. Will take first pi term. What is that first pi term? That pi 1 is equal to L raised to a1, v raised to b1 and rho raised to c1 and r. This is our first pi term. Understood? Now we will write the dimensions of these first pi terms. Then what is the dimension of this pi? Pi is a dimensionless quantity, therefore it don't have any dimension. Therefore I will write m raised to 0, L raised to 0 and t raised to 0. It don't have any dimension. Now coming to here, this L is a L, therefore it's raised to a1. Then velocity is L t raised to minus 1 raised to b1. Then density is m L raised to minus 3, then c1. Then r is m L t raised to minus 2 to the power 1. Okay, nothing, no powers are there. This is. Now we need to equate. Then power of m concentrate. Here the left hand side power of m is 0 and right hand side power of m is here c1. C1 is a power of m, correct? Then here plus 1, c1 plus 1 is our power of m over. Then from this I can get the value c1 equal to minus 1. Okay, now I will come to the second, that is power of L. Okay, power of L left hand side is 0 and coming to here power of L first term a1 and b1. The second term is L to the power b1. Then the third term is L to the power of minus 3c1. Then the fourth one is L plus 1. Okay, now from this I will substitute this we will keep it as it is, later we'll come back. Now we'll go to the power of t. Power of t, left hand side is 0 and right hand side is minus b1 and power of t here minus 2. Therefore b1 is equal to minus 2. Now this is c1 value and this b1 value we will substitute in this equation. Then see here a1 as it is, this equal to 0, a1 as it is, b1 means what? Minus 2, minus 3, c1 means what? Minus 1 plus 1. This is equal to a1 minus 3 plus 3, minus 2 plus 3 is a plus 1 and 1, 2. Therefore plus 2. Therefore a1 is equal to minus 2. Okay, now we got this one. Now conclude it. We will conclude the first pi term in this way. First pi term we will conclude this way, that is pi 1 equal to L to the power a1 is minus 2 and v to the power b1 is minus 2 and rho to the power c1 is minus 1 into r. This can be written as, therefore pi 1 is equal to r divided by L square, v square and rho. This is your pi 1. Very important. This is our conclusion of first term. Like that we need to go for the second term, second pi term, second pi term. The second pi term is what we need to see. The second pi term is pi 2 equal to L A2 V to the power B2 and rho to the power C2. Then we have a mu here. Then we will write the dimensions m naught, L naught, T naught is equal to L power A2 and here L T raised to minus 1 power B2 and here m L raised to minus 3 to the power C2 and here m L raised to minus 1 T raised to minus 1 to the power nothing. Understood? This is what we got. Now equate power of m. Power of m left hand side is 0 and right hand side come here C2 and come here 1 plus 1, therefore C2 equal to minus 1. C2 equal to minus 1. Then power of L, equate power of L. Power of L, left hand side we have a 0 and right hand side first A2 and the second one is plus B2 and the third one here is minus 3C2 and here we have minus 1. Okay, then we will keep it as it is. Then we'll come to the power of T. Power of T, left hand side is 0 and right hand side come here minus B2 and here power of T we have minus 1, therefore B2 equal to minus 1. Okay, now this B2 and this C2 we will substitute in this equation, that is your A2 minus 1 minus 3 minus 1 minus 1. Then the answer is A2 minus 1 minus 2 plus 3, that is plus 1. Therefore A2 is equal to minus 1. Okay, now we got it. Then what is the conclusion? The conclusion of second pi term is pi 2 equal to L raised to minus 1 V raised to minus 1 rho raised to minus 1 into mu. Therefore pi 2 will be equal to mu divided by L V rho. Right, we got two terms. Then coming to the third pi term. In this third pi term, what we need to do? We need to select it is pi 3 equal to L A3 V B3 and rho C3. Then last left is K. Then write the dimensions. Okay, the dimension is here m raised to 0, L raised to 0, T raised to 0, L to the power A3 and V is L T raised to minus 1 to the power B3 and m L raised to minus 3 to the power C3. K is what? M L raised to minus 1 T raised to minus 2. Correct? M L raised to minus 1 T raised to minus 2. Now power of m0 is equal to power of m is what? C3 and plus 1. C3 plus 1, therefore C3 equal to minus 1. Then power of L is 0 is equal to A3 plus B3 minus 3C3 minus 1. Then power of T, that is 0 is equal to minus B3 minus 2. Therefore B3 equal to minus 2. Then this one and this one will substitute here, that is A3 minus 2 minus 3 minus 1 minus 1. Therefore A3 equal to minus 2 minus this one, minus 2 minus 1 minus 3 and plus 3, 0. A3 is 0. A3 is 0. Then coming to conclusion, the conclusion is what? Conclusion is pi 3 equal to L raised to 0 and V raised to minus 2 and rho raised to minus 1 and K. Okay, therefore pi 3 is equal to K divided by rho V square. K divided by rho V square. Okay, now we got first pi 1, second pi 2, third pi 3. Therefore we have a function like this: pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 that equal to 0. Then we'll write what is pi 1. Pi 1 is r by L square V square rho. r by L square V square rho, comma, then this pi 2. This pi 2 is mu by rho LV rho. Mu by LV rho. Okay. Then what is pi 3? Pi 3 is K by rho V square. That is K by rho V square. That equal to 0. Now what we'll do? We will keep this one this side. That is R, because that is required for us. L square V square rho is equal to, we are keeping this and sending only to that side. That's why the variable will change. That is phi of mu by rho V, L, it is L V rho, comma, K by rho V square. Okay, then what is your R equal to? R equal to L square V square rho into phi of mu by L V rho, comma, K by rho V square. Okay, this is the given equation. Understood? Thank you very much. Many problems will solve in the next class. Thank you.